here we go. We're gonna get controversial again, but I'm gonna be real. I think you should avoid debt as best as possible for detailing. Let me explain to you why, Reyes. What is going on YouTube? My name is Mario from Exclusive Auto Detail. We are out here with Reyes. We're gonna give you guys another free 99 Lodge. Reyes, are you excited for today's episode?
I'm super excited, bro.
Last time we met, Reyes, I think we did a video on Easter. Pretty happy with the comments. I just want to say all you guys out there, we are running it back again to give you another free 99 Knowledge.
Hey, you know what? A lot of people love how transparent and honest you were, you know? You weren't putting people down, but you were telling it how it is. But what are we going to be talking about today?
I mean, you tell me, Reyes. What do you want? I mean, I'm an open book, guys. You let me know.
People want to see that detail setup.
That's right. That was probably like the #1 comment, which is pretty interesting. I don't know. But yeah, where do you want to start, Reyes?
All right. So first of all, you don't have a fancy setup. And not to bring you down or nothing, but what I mean is, you know, there's a lot of new detailers that feel like, man, I need a mattress. I need a full out setup inside. I need the newest equipment, this and that.
I need a microwave in my van so I can eat my food.
I need a full on wrap. Don't get me wrong, that helps. But what people don't realize is that those people are digging themselves into a big hole. Tell me how you started with your detailing setup.
Yeah, I started around during COVID. My job has some flexibility, so thankfully I would detail on the weekends, and I had a Tacoma. I still have a Tacoma, but originally I would detail on my Tacoma. I had like a pretty cheap pressure washer from Home Depot, a Rigid vacuum. I didn't even have a generator back then, just a bunch of extension cords, and then eventually slowly built my way up. Hopefully Reyes could kind of put it in the little box, but I bought a trailer, and don't get me wrong, guys, this trailer was beat up. I think I paid $800 or so with the trailer. And then eventually I slowly built it. Hopefully you guys could put the video, but I sanded it down. I painted and I primered it. I put diamond plate on it. And that was around 2020, so maybe about 5 years ago, guys. And then eventually I bought like a rack, kind of like what you guys can see behind us, because I wanted to be more efficient. So I bought it used from a gentleman, had no idea it was the wrong size. Thankfully, my friend Wayne helped me out and we welded it. So like I said, hopefully Reyes can kind of put that on the video. But yeah, so to get you started, once again, Tacoma, and then eventually my trailer. Had that for probably the longest time, and then I probably had the van for about 2 years now. And even the van itself, like you mentioned, Reyes, it's not pretty, but to this day, guys, I have been nothing but debt-free, Reyes. I don't know how many people can say that. I don't owe anybody money except maybe the toxica and the baby mama. That's about it.
That's it. So a lot of new detailers, they kind of don't know which route to go. The truck, the trailer, the van, the professional detailing van. Now, what do you think was the most inconvenience in your opinion? The truck, the trailer, or this van right here?
There are pros and cons of every single package or every different item. I think your best bet is to start off with the trailer if your vehicle can tow, which you don't have to tow that much. So if you have like a RAV4, a Tacoma, or a 4Runner, as long as it's a trailer hitch, you're pretty much good to go. And the benefit of that is your level to entry is a lot cheaper. I think you can get a van on offer, not a van, sorry. I think you can get a trailer on offer up for maybe $3 grand, or you can go to like a store and buy it from like already pre-built, probably closer to $4 to $5 grand. And then you're kind of on the ball rolling. Versus a van or a truck, you gotta pay for that vehicle first, right? So even if it's a Tacoma, Tacomas have crazy resale value. Even if I get like 05 Tacoma, we're looking at $8 grand, and then I still gotta pay to get it built. So you're probably almost like 13 grand in the hole. And then same thing with the van. Now this is an old van, guys. I got this for pretty cheap. I got it during COVID. I think I paid anywhere from $3,500 to $4 grand, which in my opinion is pretty cheap. But keep in mind, it was, you know, what you see right now is nowhere where it was raised. Had no air conditioning. I had to do all the brake, you know, it needed a bunch of work. But the point is, it's a lot cheaper than a Ford Express, the Dodge ProMaster City, and I think you have like the Mercedes Metris. So at least I'm happy I could pay cash for everything, get it all done.
Hey, I heard parking with a trailer is bro. Is that true or not? Because you're taking up 2 spaces.
Yeah.
Aren't you? And then people are gonna steal your stuff.
Yeah.
You can't leave it out.
I think there's a lot, that is a loaded question itself.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part is driving with the trailer. If you've never driven with the trailer, I don't know if you guys know this, but you're not supposed to be past the 2 lanes on the freeway. So if you take a look, you have all the big rigs, they're always on the right 2 lanes. If you're ever on the 3rd or 4th lane or on the diamond lane, you can get a ticket. So the issue is when I had my trailer back then, I mean, I couldn't afford a ticket, so I was always on the first 2 lanes. So I always noticed that traffic was heavier. Whatever the GPS told me, I had to add at least 10 extra minutes because I'm stuck with the big rigs. Unless I'm running really late, then I'll go around and pass them. But that's probably the one big thing. Parking, it's all depending on you as a client or as a customer. Right now we're at LA Fitness and there's plenty of parking. So the trailer wouldn't necessarily be an issue. Now, if you guys are detailing in downtown LA, now that's a much different story. And that's where I agree. But in my opinion, I think the only hard part about a trailer is 2 things. Can you drive with it? You gotta make sure you're taking sharp, not sharp turns, because the term is called jackknifing, where you'll clip the back of your truck, or the space. Do you live in an apartment? If you do, trailer may not be sufficient for you because where are you gonna store it when you're not detailing? A lot of you guys were making a bunch of comments on the videos, the previous videos, so if you guys could do me a favor, how did you guys start? Truck, trailer, or do you guys like a baller and just swipe the credit card and you got yourself a van out the gates?
Bro, you know what I've seen? People start with a sedan. Have you seen that before?
Yeah, I've seen the 4Runner. I mean, like I said, I've seen people detail out of a Camry, and I respect it. And I think we talked about this a while back ago. And don't take this the wrong way, because a lot of people are giving me some sort of shade in the other video, but I don't care. I'm here to give you some real facts. What's more important to me is if you're willing to put in the work, I don't care what setup you have, Reyes. I would rather, and we're about to hit summertime. It was 96 degrees last week, Reyes. My butt was out there working in the sun. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I would rather have a guy that is ready to work with, detailing out of his Camry than a guy with a fully loaded Ford Metris, but he's like, oh, I don't want to work today because 96 degrees.
Dang.
And go ahead and comment me, man.
Wow, they're gonna come at you, bro.
But in the comments, you better say I've been real the whole time. Don't tell me I've been fake this whole time.
All right, Mario, so the next thing I want to talk about is you have a rig, you have a setup in here. And you said you didn't want to mention where you got it from. For personal reasons, I'm gonna respect that.
Not personal, but it is what it is. I don't know what he's talking about, but
So, how much did the rig cost you roughly?
I think it cost me around 45 to 5 grand, but keep in mind, most of this stuff I already provided with them, meaning all the stuff that you see here was taken from the van or from the trailer into the van. So the only thing I paid for was a 100-gallon slim tank, the framing, and mostly the installation, and then the Viper pump. But yeah, I want to say around 4,500 to 5 grand. I paid that company, or I gave them no issues. They told me the price, I paid for it. I respect high quality work as I do for myself. Right? As a detailer, whatever my price is, I don't like when people, I don't want to say negotiate, but it was the same way I paid them. Other than that, I'm trying to think of anything that could be, in my opinion, I hate to say this now, Reyes, which is fine. The price of everything is going up. 5 grand is probably a steal now, but keep in mind, this van setup has been with me for almost about 2 years. So the pricing is not gonna reflect until today's time, unfortunately.
And now, you showed me your setup inside, and you have a few things not a lot of detailers have. One of them is a 10 by 15 canopy.
Yes, sir.
So, why do you feel people don't carry canopies? Is it necessary?
Is it necessary? No, but I mean, maybe I'm a little kid now. I'm spoiled, a prima donna. I hate detailing in direct sunlight. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a clean seal in July on a black truck, you're gonna wish you had a canopy just because of the shade. Also for your body too. Like I'm working 4 or 5 days a week, Reyes. I know there's some days where I get home and I'm beat to death, and that's with the canopy. I can't imagine how my body's gonna feel with it. But I think a big reason why people don't carry it, one, is not cheap, Reyes. It is a Clips Pro 2. Hopefully Reyes could put it on there. I forgot what the company's called, but you could hopefully find it. It's around $1,200 new. Thankfully, my customer gave it to me, so I'm super thankful for that. And on top of that, the space. The Astro van, I guess the one benefit, it is naturally bigger than your Ford Express or whatever it's called, and then the NV200. They are smaller, so maybe we can go on the side, and you can see I have everything like Jenga or whatever you want to call it. It is nice and tight in there, or like, what is it called?
Tetris.
Tetris, there we go. Everything nice and tight, everything has a purpose.
All right, Mario. So one thing I noticed about your setup is I don't see no extractor. I don't see a steamer. Why is that?
I generally bring whatever I need for the day. I generally book a week in advance, Reyes, so I kind of already know what type of detail I'm going to be doing. For example, depending on the situation and where I'm working, I might be working in an apartment complex, so I don't want to be having all my stuff around. Or another example, today we're at LA Fitness. Thankfully, there's no security guards, but what I've noticed is the less I have with me, the generally more low-key I look, and they're gonna leave me alone. So if I am gonna do an interior detail, yes, I have my Mighty, I have a steamer, I have all the equipment that I have. So to answer your question, I carry it with me, but if I'm not gonna use it for that day, I would rather not bring it so I don't have to physically move things in and out, and obviously my van's kind of tight, so the less I could bring, the better for me.
Some people are gonna say in the comments, but what if you go do a detail and then they throw in the wife's car that needs extraction, or you need a steamer? Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, it has, but once again, Ray, is two things. I generally book a week in advance, so if it's very tough for me to squeeze in a car, and if it is, it's gonna be more of a mini detail. An extraction at that point, I would rather pick a bigger time slot for that appointment, especially, for example, in the summertime, maybe I'll have 3 or 4 cars for the day, so by the time I'm doing the last customer or your car, you're like, oh, Mario, car looks great, can we go and do the carpet extraction for my wife's car? It might be like 4:30 p.m. already, so I may not even physically have the time for it. Like I said, is this something I could do? Yes, but I just got tired of having to constantly lug things that I don't need specifically, yes. But yeah, if you have the space, like I said, if you have a truck with the trailer, that was the one benefit when I was detailing with the trailer. I had a 6-foot bed on my Tacoma, so I could have fit everyone and your baby mama in the car and they were ready to ride.
A lot of people, whether it's a sedan, a truck, a van, they have some type of marketing. I noticed you don't. Why?
I park my car in the street, and so during COVID, unfortunately, I follow a bunch of detailers. People were getting their van broken into, and so I'm in the same way. Hopefully, we could do some B-rolls. But I have 5% tint all across my van. It's not because I want to look cool. It's because I want to protect what I have inside of my vehicle. So to answer your question, the reason why I don't have any logos is because I do not want any unwanted attention. Or, for example, maybe we'll go to the gym later today. Me and you, Reyes, will hit the bench. I don't want to put exclusive auto detail. We're working out. Now we're in Yorba Linda. We're a pretty nice area, but you never know, Reyes. Someone that is hurting for money, they can break in. If they see detailing, you know you have a polisher, you know you have a generator, you know you have this and that, drill brushes and batteries, you name it. So I wish I could advertise. That's why I'm doing social media. That's why I'm doing YouTube. And as you guys can see, you know, doing my best to be social to customers. I think that's more important than me just having a magnet on my van. Nothing wrong with that, but I think I have other avenues to market myself. But hey guys, let me know, am I crazy, Reyes? Let me know in the comments. Should you have a wrap saying Reyes' Mobile Detailing charging this much, ceramic coating packages on your van? Let me know. Maybe I'm the one that's wrong because you guys seem to think so. And here we go. We're gonna get controversial again, but I'm gonna be real. I think you should avoid debt as best as possible for detailing. Let me explain to you why, Reyes. If we were a plumber, electrician, if we do some sort of blue collar job, go for it. Go ahead and get the big work van, because what you're gonna make as an electrician or a plumber, and I hate to say this, but I'm being honest, I'm a detailer, they're gonna make far more money than us. They're gonna be making maybe $150K a year minimum. Versus us guys, if you want my honest opinion, go slowly. Now, obviously, Reyes, I don't know people's financial status. Maybe they're doing better than me. If you want to go ahead and take a loan out for that vehicle, go for it. Some people don't have that option. But you asked me a question for me specifically, how I'm going to answer it. I would try to avoid it just for that reason. But I don't know, you know, if you take a $4,000 or $5,000 loan to get this van set up, I think that money can go far for you. I think you can easily pay that off within the year and maybe even sooner, especially as summertime is coming. But yeah, just to answer your question.
And you know what? I've been working with a lot of detailers. It's true. The more you spend on your setup, on your business, doesn't mean you're gonna make more money. And it's heartbreaking to me when I see somebody who's hustling just to
pay off the van, right?
Just to pay. You know, the detailers that I've worked with that have been doing this for a long time and are quote unquote successful, meaning they're doing it full time, they got an employee or two, they started from the bottom with nothing. Correct. And as the business grew, that's when they started investing a little bit more. A new steamer, a new polisher, but they never got everything at once. They never went to debt. So I agree with you 100%, man.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with you going into debt. I'm just giving you, like I said, what I've done.
Yeah.
Could I easily get a Ford Metris tomorrow? Oh, you know, I just also remembered, Reyes?
What?
Right now, we're entering summertime.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful I'm debt-free. Obviously, summertime, you're gonna make all this money. tell me in January, and tell me from December 15th to January 3rd. Tell me how your pockets are feeling. Because guess what? Your car note is still due. Or the van setup that you put on Acoma or whatever it's called, they don't care that you don't get no customers. They go, hey, you signed this agreement. I want my money. I want my $500, you know, for the van payment. And that's gonna be super difficult. All you detailers know exactly what I'm talking about. No one is paying for details around Christmas time because they're using that money to buy gifts. And so, like I said, that's just my opinion. Unless you're really good with money, save up like I did, you know, save up money in the summertime, and then you can kind of use that to ride the wave into the wintertime. Alrighty guys, so you guys just watched a video today of me explaining the process of how we came here today. It is not pretty, but you know what? It is my van and it is what it is. Now I want you guys to let me know on the comments below, what type of setup do you guys have? Do you guys have a van, truck? Do you have the Ford Metris? How dope is your vehicle? And let me know how wrong I am in the comments below. Alrighty guys, so this is my first YouTube video on my page, my main page. I want to say thank you to all you guys. Like I said, Reyes, our video as of right now has 10,000 views in only 4 days, Reyes. So I want to give you guys as much free 99 knowledge as you guys can. Even though it's technically costing me money, I want to make impact in the detailing community, because as all of us as a whole, if we're all making money, Reyes, we're all going to be winning. So make sure to like, comment, and if you guys could hopefully share a video to your tia or whoever. If anyone that wants to start a detailing business, hopefully you guys could share this video out so they can kind of get a better understanding whether or not they want to do this moving forward.